What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. PVO. We back at it with our boy Erik here, man. Yo, the Raptors won today. Finally, man. Fucking lead. So happy.
Yes, sir. Yeah, they won. They came out attacking right from the get-go. Obviously, it took them a little bit to get into the rhythm because of the new starting lineup and the new rotation due to Siakam, which I guess you'll elaborate upon in a bit.
What did he do?
What did he do? Okay, so we didn't talk about this because we didn't know about this. It was like a behind the scenes thing. But at the last game against Philly, he got fouled out, right? And I guess he didn't he went back to the dressing room. He was pissed off probably about how he played or how his team played or whatever, right? But he went back with like 4 minutes remaining in the game or whatnot. Like, so that's what I heard in the Facebook after the Raptors. So like. No. And then I'm pretty sure Nick Nurse is going to address that right now in the post-game interviews. But yeah, so they disciplined him. And I don't blame him. I mean, that's pretty disrespectful to your teammates, right? You can't do that as a leader. You know, you're supposed to showcase yourself as a leader, right? So
yeah, it's true, man. Hold on. What was different today? What did they do differently that worked? Or is New York bad, or what was different?
New York's good. I think this was Austin Rivers' first game back, actually coming off the injury list, so that might have impacted their own rotation a bit. But New York's better than last year for sure, and they're coming off a high, right? Because they're coming off blowing out Philly, I'm pretty sure, at MSG. So they're coming off a high. But it was mostly what the Raptors did today. You know, like I said, they came out and attacked right from the get-go. It took them a little bit to get into rhythm due to their new rotation, new starting lineup, because Siakam didn't dress today. But they was tied at halftime. But then instead of them finally blowing it in the second half, they finally took it away home with them in the second half, if you know what I mean, because they won by double-digit points, and it was a good fourth effort. They finally won.
Fourth quarter. They did it.
Done. In the fourth quarter. They didn't wet the bed in the fourth quarter today. I'm pretty happy about that.
Wow. Our boy Norman Powell started, and he was balling.
Yeah, he was balling. I don't know if this is going to impact, new rotations in terms of future games or whatever. But he played good today. Malachi Flynn finally touched the floor in the regular season, because obviously it was a blowout at one point near the end of the game. So he finally touched the floor, and all the Raptors fans getting on Nick Nurse. Why aren't you playing him in all the other games? Well, he has to make his debut in the NBA in either like a blowout loss or a blowout win. You know what I mean? He's just a rookie, right? But he finally touched the floor, and it was a good way to cap off 2020. Good win on New Year's Eve.
That's it, man. I'm happy that they won. You know, they almost won by 20. I think 20 piece, 18 piece. It doesn't matter. We gave them with fries. 18 piece with fries, man. Good job, Raptors.
Yeah,
I'm 180. Happy. And the thing about it is, when you seen them play, it's there are so many different people that were involved. Larry was involved. Fred was involved. Norm was involved. You know, Boucher grabbing a lot of rebounds. I see Boucher hustling. You know what I mean? Yeah. The bench squad, they played well. I was actually happy with how they played today.
Yeah. We finally got to see Bembry hit his debut. The guy who came from Atlanta, right? He finally made his debut. And Fred VanVleet, 25 points. He was their top scorer, so he was balled out. And Kyle Lowry, second half score with 20 points on the team today. So the leaders put forth an effort. And like you said, Norman Powell balled out 17 points. Terrence Davis, he got 10 points. Terrence Davis finally gets it going a little bit, and I feel like if you're the Raptors, you really had to take advantage of facing the Knicks, right? Because they're a little bit better than last year, but it's still the Knicks, and their defense is on crack most of the time, so you really had to attack, and that's what the Raptors did.
Yeah, man. And I feel like the defensive schemes need to be a little bit more. They need to be better on defense a little bit more. They did have a lead, and New York came back and took the lead, and they went back and forth, and then they buckled down, and then boom, in the fourth quarter they said, you know what, the game is over.
Yeah, I feel like the Raptors need to up their defense a little bit. Teams were so afraid of them, especially in the last two seasons of the Raptors defense, because it didn't matter if you had LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Steph Curry. You knew that the Raps were gonna run some scheme to shut you down. You know what I mean? But this season we haven't seen that thus far. But they got it going today in the fourth quarter, especially, which is the quarter that matters the most. And hopefully they just take this momentum into their next game. I don't know who they're facing their next game. I think it might be Boston.
Boston. I think it's Boston, yeah.
It's Boston, right?
Yeah, so.
That's going to be an interesting one. But
another test.
Yeah, but it was definitely a good game to have before that big game, and it was a good game to cap off 2020 with. But if you lost to the Knicks, you would really question the team. But they took advantage of facing the Knicks, and it's not like they won by like single digit points even. They won by 100 to 83, so that's 17-point double digit points. Good win. That was a good win, boys.
That's it, man. That's a good win. Who do you give the Raptors the game to?
I mean, people would say, do you know what? Screw it. I was about to say people would say Norman Powell. And I was about to say Fred VanVleet, but I'll give it to Norman Powell just due to his increase of a role and him taking advantage of it. You know what I mean? It's like, he was given more, like, I'm not going to say pressure, but he was given more responsibility and he took advantage of it because Fred VanVleet's always used to starting for the Raptors. You know what I mean? But Norman Powell's not. So he really took advantage of it. So I'll give it to Norman Powell. He balled up today. He deserves it.
That's it, man. Norman balled out. I'm happy with how Norman balled for real, man. I'm happy with how Fred balled. I'm happy with how Lowry balled. You know what I mean? The supporting cast, they did well too. OG was doing what he has to do. I feel like OG can step up a little bit more. You know what I mean? I still need to see some consistency. I can't even say it properly because
Yeah, consistency.
I still need to see some consistency from OG. I can't say that. That's crazy. From OG, man. So we need a little bit more from OG from my perspective. But hey, it is what it is, man. I'm happy with the Raptors. I'm happy with how they balled out today, man.
Yeah, especially I just want to add in there, especially OG shooting. And the Raptors overall shooting in the first half in particular didn't look too good. I think they got to focus on that a little bit more as well because they got shooters on the team. It's not like they don't got any shooters on the team because they still got shooters on the team. VanVleet, Terrence Davis, Malachi Flynn. And where was Matt Thomas?
Thomas.
Like I didn't see a lot of Matt Thomas at all today. Did he even touch the court?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's weird. Man.
I see Watanabe was playing. Watanabe got some today.
Yeah. You could trust Matt Thomas though. The Raptors got shooters. They got to focus a little bit more on that. But I'm happy that, as you alluded to, the whole bench squad, got a chance to touch the court today. Other than a few players, I guess, but. I'm happy about that because it gets them going. It gets them that little bit of experience as well as playing in their new home arena, right? Because that matters too. Because they're so used to the basketball nets and the rims and the Scotiabank Arena, right?
Yep.
Even though I still like to call it the Air Canada Center because that name sounds.
Oh, come on! Don't forget Air Canada, ACC. Baby.
Yeah, that's what
ACC baby.
The ACC, VC, and Chris Bosh, Jose.
Trust me, come on! Don't forget Primo Pasta.
Oh, Primo Pasta and sauce. They got to go in their home arena. Their new home arena now for this season. So it was a good win on good job, Raptors. Good win on New Year's Eve.
What do we got to do to beat Boston, man? Boston's a big team. That's a contender, man. They outed us last time we played them. Game 7, they won. So it's gonna be a big rematch. What do we got to do to beat Boston team that's really good?
Well, do you know what? You gotta D up and you gotta attack them. You gotta play aggressive. You gotta be pissed off of how you got eliminated last year by them Game 7 in the second round of the playoffs in the Orlando bubble. You gotta be mad about that. And Marcus Smart's gonna try to get on. First of all, Raptors fans don't like Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart, I'm a diehard Raptors fan. Marcus Smart's one of my favorite players in the NBA due to how he plays. He's gonna try to get on you. You really gotta, he's gonna talk trash and all that stuff. You really gotta just. Know that that's just how he plays and just not take it too personal. Norman Powell has to show up and Siakam must show up because damn sure that Tatum's going to show up. You know what I mean? The Celtics will show up. You boys better show up because the Raptors could beat Boston. Boston's consistency isn't there yet. As it was how they ended off the last season. It's not there yet. The consistency isn't there for any team in the NBA because they've only played like 4 or 5 games each so far in the regular season. You got to take advantage of that. The Raptors got a good shot actually at beating Boston, but you must the room for error is so little, you know what I mean? And you have to show up in the first half too. Like you can't try to turn on the Jets in the second half, you know what I mean?
It has to be a full game. From the beginning. Exactly,
because that's what Boston's going to do. And if you're Nick Nurse, you have your weapons on the bench, but you got to utilize them, man. Don't do what you did last year, what I hate he did in the second round. Don't do that, because Brad Stevens is a very smart coach with the Celtics, and he'll make you look terrible, like how he did in the playoffs last year.
That's it, man. You think the Raptors pull out with a win?
They could, but it has to be a near perfect game by them. But you got it. Your defense has to show up too. If your defense shows up, it could be close down the stretch, and you might have a chance to pull it away. But if that's the case, this is where Van Fleet, Lowry, Siakam, OG, and possibly Norm have to step up, depending on if he's on the court in the final minutes of the game, if it is a close game.
That's it. So, yo, man, what do you give the Raptors today out of 10?
They got the win. They played really well in the second half. I think their best quarter was the fourth quarter, and their whole bench even got going. You know what I mean? They got the bench on the court. I'll give him a 10. Like, I'm not going to hesitate. I'll give him a 10. I'll give him a 10 because, you know, like, obviously the Knicks isn't a prime team, so to speak, but at the same time, the Raps took advantage of that. They realized the opportunity, like, this is the game. This is the night that we could really get going for the season. So I'll give them a 10 because they took advantage of it, won by double-digit points. Pretty satisfying win. They got that Pythagorean win as well. So, you know, all around good day. Good day at the office.
That's it, man. That's it. Good day at the office. I'm going to give Raptors an 8. You know what I mean? I think there's still room for improvement. So, hey, you know what I mean? I'm a little bit of a harsh critic, but it is what it is, man. Eric, you already know what it is, man. Always love you when you come on the show, man. We've got a lot of love for you, man. The Wrap Up TV, you already know. We'll see you next week. Happy New Year, bro.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Be safe, man. Make sure you wash your hands and wear your mask. We got to stop this COVID shit. You know what I mean? I want to be outside. I want to go back to the ACC. All right, man. Enjoy, bro.
Same.